Line 2. Okay. Hello, line 2. Hello, line 2.
Hello, Gay.
Yes, sir.
How can this man give out all this information without feeling the risk of death?
You beat me to it by 10 seconds. What about the threat on your life? How can you get away with it?
Well, I really feel like we're not ratting on anyone or turning anyone in for prosecution. I feel that we're trying to set the record straight about a period in American history that we think is very important. It was a dark and sinister time. We're saying, if we're going to write this history, let's write it as accurately as possible. And what we're trying to do is give people some additional information about Sam Giancana and the relationships he had so that we don't fool ourselves. Because, after all, Sam Giancana is tied to the history of the United States. And the acts that he did and collaborated with, for example, the assassination of JFK, has affected everybody in some way on this planet. Because we lost 55,000 lives as a result of Vietnam. We also lost the kind of man who affected, I think, the world by his vision. So we all suffered. I don't feel that we're in any danger, but we calculated that risk.
Yes. Maybe you're wrong about that, Sam.
I could be.
You could be, yeah. A lot of it, of course, thank you, caller, very much indeed for the question. A lot of this book, of course, would be memories from your father, Chuck, and conversations and recreated conversations and so on. But you are totally convinced of the truth of the vast majority of what is in the book.
Absolutely. I'm 100% convinced. And when you look at it in relation to the other facts, the historical data that's out, that has been rooted out by investigators, it all fits together with the help of just a couple conversations that Sam Giancana had. All of a sudden, everything starts to fit together, and I think that's what makes it powerful, and that's what I think even makes the book more truthful.
How did he die?
He died exactly the way I think he probably should have. He lived by the sword, and he died by the sword. He was murdered in his own home while he was cooking a snack, murdered by someone he knew. He was shot 7 times in the head.
Why?
We speculate that at that time he was due to testify in front of Congress 4 days later about his relationship between the CIA and the assassination attempt on Fidel Castro. And we speculate that the CIA, fearing his testimony, put out a contract, just like they had done many times before, and got someone to go to Chicago who knew the lay of the land, and got someone to go in and murder Sam Giancana.
Would he not have suspected this, knowing the way the mafia worked? Would he not have suspected they will think that I'm going in front of this investigation and I may blow something and they'll come after me?
Well, it's funny because Sam lived his life in a way that he wasn't very fearful of many things. He used to be able to walk into New York unprotected, no bodyguards. He was trusted by those men, and he trusted other men. And by the time this occurred, he was in his upper years. He seemed to either put his guard down or didn't really think that anybody was going to come after him, and it was a fatal mistake.
How old was he?
68.
They just shot him 7 times in there. The guy just came up behind him?
Well, actually, it was in his own kitchen. It was someone he knew, and while he was turned towards the stove, he stepped behind him and shot him directly in the head.
Probably said, "Sorry, Sam."
Time is up.
Sorry, Sam, your time is up. Line 5. Line 5. Hello, line 5.
Yes. I want to know if the mafia operate in Ireland, like in any shape or form.
Yeah, but they're not called the mafia. Yeah. Okay, Sam, what connections do you have with Ireland, huh?
I don't personally have any, but and I really don't know what their connections are to other parts of the world currently.
Yeah, you mean you know, but you're not saying. That's what it is, because you're afraid while you're here. Yes, sir.
I've understood recently that the CIA and the FBI have said that, not said publicly, but privately it's understood, that they would much prefer organized crime because at least they know where the rotten eggs are. The alternative to organized crime is disorganized crime, which would possibly lead to the CIA or the FBI not knowing where the perpetrators were. And following on from that, it seems as though the senators and the executive part of the American body politic seem to be letting things go by. To ordinary people, it seems incredible that this strength of the mafia can go on for years and years, although every president who, as we hear from Bill Clinton and Bush, that they're going to eradicate it when they get back in, but that's not happened. Why has that been?
It has been a very elusive target, and let's face it, I think any criminal element within our society needs to be eliminated, whether it's organized or disorganized. And I think there's always some truth to the fact that organized crime kind of applied their trade to their own people, so the general community was safe. But the fact is, we're all paying in some fashion or another. Because they are influencing business. Business people have to pay for protection, the garbage collecting, whatever the circumstance may be. So whether the government is unwilling or unable to root out this problem, I don't know. But it doesn't seem to be the kind of top priority that it should be.
There's also a fair amount of intimidation and fear involved as well. And people, they look back at Bobby Kennedy and say, well, not me.
Maybe it's a question of letting sleeping dogs lie.
Trying to contain it a bit. Okay, we have to let you go. This was Sam Giancana. The book is called Double Cross, the story of the man who controlled America. Good luck with it. Thank you very much. Sam Giancana.